Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Happy Easter. And sorry I haven't been doing videos for a month, but I'm doing my top 50 greatest players of all time. And I'm filming this on Easter Sunday 2022, so hope you got lots of chocolates and have a great Easter. So, number 50, Craig Bradley. He has got most disposals ever for Carlton. He's one of their greatest players of all time, this centre-half back player. Always a superstar. He could have been higher, but that's why I just have him at number 50. Number 49, we have Mark Rashudo, one-time premiership player. I forgot to say Bradley was like a two-time premiership player, but Mark Rashudo was a one-time premiership player. Played in the 90s and the 2000s. Bradley played in the 80s and 90s. And that's why I have him at 49. He won a Brownlow because he's a superstar player. At number 48, we have Jimmy Bartell. 3 premierships for the Cats, a Brownlow. He's just a legend for the Cats. He has... What else has he done? Norm Smith. And number 47, we have Sam Mitchell. He is a gun, Sam Mitchell. 4-time premiership player, 5-time club best and fairest. Went to the West Coast Eagles in 2017. Is one of their greatest players of all time for Hawthorn. That's what happened with number 47. And number 46, my hero, Kevin Bartlett. But I love him so much. But he's number 46 for a reason. 5-time premiership player for them. And for Richmond, won a Norm Smith and a 7-goal haul in the grand final of 1980. Hungry Bartlett retired back in the 1983 season. Most ever games for Richmond with 403. Number 45, we have Hayden Bunton. He is a very good player, Hayden, because he played in my 30s. He would be one of the oldest players in my list today, but Hayden Bunton, nothing much to say about him. Oh, I also forgot to say this. Remember that playing right now, players, here's that video. Bontempelli was 3 and 5, he was 4, I've changed, I've switched both of them around. Get back to the video. Hayden Bunton is a 3-time Brownlow medalist for Fitzroy in the 30s. Number 44, we have Marcus Bontempelli. Just mentioned him. He's one of the greatest ever players for the Western Bulldogs. Sorry about that barking with my dog. And players like Teddy Wing, I think, because he is a very good player. The best player playing right now. Behind Caleb Daniel and Jack McRae, I think. Number 43, we have Nigel Lappin. Now, he's a superstar player. Nigel Lappin has won 3 grand finals, 3 premierships from 2001 to 2003. He had a bad rib going into the 2003 Grand Final, but managed to play. Number 42, we have Gavin Wanganeen. He is a very good gun for Port Adelaide and Essendon. He is one of the greatest players of all time. I think he was better at Port Adelaide. He's their best player of all time, I think. He is a gun. Number 41, not many people know him, but oldest player on my list, Dick Lee from Collingwood, won 8 Coleman medals. Well, it was called leading goal kicker back then in the day. Played in the early 1900s and 1910s. Pretty good. Number 40, we have Up There Kazali in Fair. But Roy Kazali is a superstar player for St Kilda, I think Carlton and South Melbourne. What a gun. Number 39, we have Gordon Coventry, 1,299 goals. He's coming second for most goals in history. Is the third oldest player on the list. Wow. And number 38, we have Paul Kelly, Sydney's Hall of Fame, I think. And I think Sydney's team of the century. Won a Brownlow, never won a premiership. I wish they did, because I love Sydney and I like Paul Kelly. But number 37, we have Jason Akermanis. He's a gun player for Brisbane. How many premierships did he win? 3. I think he started back in 1997, finished his career in 2011 for the Bulldogs. And number 36, Ruckman of the Century, but not in my opinion. Graham Polly Farmer. There is Graham Polly Farmer is a gun. The best Indigenous ruckman of all time, best Indigenous Cats player of all time, or players. And number 35, but we have Braddy Johnson. I would have had him at number 36. I think Graham Polly Farmer's a better player, but I just had to put him at number 35 though. Braddy Johnson, is it Bradley or Brad? Tell me. So, number 34, we have Andrew McLeod. He's a gun player for the Adelaide Crows. Should have won a Brownlow in 2001. Jason Akermanis did it. I forgot to tell you that. And at number 33, we have Tony Modra. Tony Modra is a gun player for the Adelaide Crows again. He's a brilliant marker, great goal kicker, Coleman medalist. Went to Fremantle. How could you do that? And number 32, we have John Nicholls. John is in the team of the century because he's Carlton's best player of the century, but I don't think so. But he is a gun, John Nicholls, most club best and fairest, named after him. And at number 31, we have Simon Black. Simon Black is a gun player for the Brisbane Lions. I love watching him. Great player. Number 30, we have a controversial call, John Platten. He is a pretty good player for them, for Hawthorn. And he's a very good player, John Platten. I really like him too. And number 29. Is he the greatest ruckman of all time? Well, the second best ruckman of all time, I think. Jim E. Steins. He's a gun player for them. Melbourne, the best Irish player of all time. I'd like to be Irish. He is a very good player. Don't think international rules. I don't know how they started, but I think they started when Jim Steins retired. It was Ireland versus Australia. But I was born. But number 28, we have Robert Flower. Robbie. I just think he's better than Jim Steins. I've never seen him play, but I know he's a gun for Melbourne. Number 27, another Melbourne player, but this time it's Rondale Barassi. He is a very good player. He's their best player of all time. Played for Carlton at the end of his career, but he was easily better at Melbourne. Number 26, we have E.J. Witten. Guy named after him, what is it? I forget it. Witten something. But he was a gun. Mr. Football was the first ever player to get into the Hall of Fame. And he's a Hall of Fame legend as well. Number 25, we have Jason Dunstall. He's a great player for Hawthorn. Most goals in history for Hawthorn. Third most goals in history. Works for the AFL. They call him the Chief. The Chief is the gun. Number 24, the greatest ruckman of all time, Jack Dyer. Jack Dyer, one of my other heroes. Played in the 30s. He's a gun. Captain Blood was a very good player. Almighty Captain Blood. Number 23, Ian Stewart has won three Brownlow medals. A Team of the Century for St Kilda. Team of the Century for Richmond. Gun. Legend. And won 2 Brownlows in a row. He won 65, 66 and 71. But we'll just get on to the next player. Number 22, we have Barry Cable. Controversial decision, but I think he's the best he's the best rover of all time, some people say. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure what rovers are. But number 21, we have Nathan Buckley. He's so unlucky not to be in the top 20. He's a very good player, Nathan Buckley. Number 20, we have Anthony Koutafides. Koutafides is one of the greatest players to ever play for Carlton. I think he's the 4th best ever to play for Carlton. So there's 3 more other Carlton players in here. Number 19, we have Stephen Silvagni, Sauce, the fullback of the century, I believe that. And he is the best defender of all time as well. I think my dad thinks Dustin Fletcher. And number 18, we have a current player in Nathan Fyfe. Nat Fyfe is number 18. 2 Brownlow medals. He's won about 2 MVPs. He's a very good player. At number 17, I picked Robert Harvey. Robert Harvey, most disposals of all time. 2 Brownlow medals. How good is he? And at number 16, we have Dick Reynolds. What a gun. King Richard, they call him. Why is he called King Richard? But Blue Richard. And Oh, it's King Dick, I think. It should be King Dick, not King Richard. But he's a king, all right. He's won 3 Brownlow medals in his first decade of playing. He won 3 Brownlow medals. Better listen. This one. Won 3 Brownlow medals in his first 6 years of playing the game. Still can't believe it. At number 15 we have John Coleman from Essendon as well. He's a gun as well. Everybody who's in this list is a gun. And John Coleman, 1949 to 1954, 98 games, 5 leading goal kickers for Coleman. And the reporter for the 1951 season is a 2-time Premiership player. But if he was a Norm Smith back in those days, he could have won one. I don't know. No, but he was born in my family even, so very bad. Oh, there were, but nobody would like men, I think. But number 14, Bob Skilton. I think he is the best player to win 3 Brownlow medals that has played the game ever. He is a gun. And nothing more to say for South Melbourne player. Only played in 1 final. Mate, he's the greatest South Melbourne player to play the game. I said South Melbourne, not Sydney. Number 13, we have Michael Voss. Greatest ever player to play for Brisbane. Who thinks that? Put your hand up if you do. Because he is a gun. Number 12, another current star. Lance Lance, Franklin. Lance Franklin. Buddy is a gun. He's just a superstar. Hawthorn and Sydney, 2 premierships, they were both for Hawthorn. Number 11, we have Greg Diesel William. Second best ever player to play for Carlton. He also played for South Melbourne, but I think he was better at Carlton. Won a Brownlow at South Melbourne and Carlton. Also played for Geelong, but no success for his first 2 years of his career. I think he won a Brownlow like in his 3rd year. First year for South Melbourne. Pretty cool. But in number 10, we're moving into the top 10. Malcolm Blight is a gun for the North Melbourne Kangaroos. Their second best player of all time. Put your hand up if you think he's the second best player ever of all time to play for North Melbourne. So, that's why I have him. Number 9, we have Dustin Martin. My favourite ever player of all time. One of my other heroes. People say never meet your heroes. People say never meet your heroes. But I want to meet him. I probably will. But number 8 is Adam Goods. He's a very good player, Adam Goods, a 2-time Brownlow medalist, best Indigenous player of all time. He's probably in the Indigenous Hall of Fame, I think, because he is a gun. Number 7, we have James Hird. Jimmy Hird is the greatest Essendon player to play the game, I think. Is a very good player, enough gun. A Brownlow medalist of Michael Voss. Back in 1996. Number 6, we have Chris Judd. Chrissy Judd is the best ever player to play for Carlton. He was better at Carlton than West Coast, I think. So, Juddy boy is a gun. two-time Brownlow medalist as well. Number 5, we have Gary Ablett Sr. Decorated player. Because he's a gun. 1,031 goals for the superstar. Senior, Gary Ablett Sr. it is. Because, Ablett is a gun. He could be the GOAT. But number 4, we have Tony Plugger Lockett. Most goals in history. I really like him. I love him so much. Tony Lockett is number 4 for me because he's the most goals in history. 1,360 goals. 1,360. Wow. Number 3, we have the little master, Gary Ablett Jr. Gazza. He would have been number 1 when I had this list. He was number 1, but the 2 guys in front of him is way better. Is so good. But number 2, we had Wayne Carey. And I'll just say number 1, Lee Matthews. I think they're both tied. He'd a number 1 at number 2. I just can't split them apart. They're too hard to do it. They're both the same for me. I have 2 goats. The Duck and what's Lee Matthews' nickname? Lethal. The Duck and Lethal. But thanks guys for watching. Hope you have a great Easter today on Easter Sunday. Thanks for watching. Thank you. Bye bye.